मेरा शायद ऊपर ही रखा है, कोई लेकर आएगी, एक कोई भी होगी।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Okay, good, good. Hare Krishna, thank you for joining this 18 days Gita class. We are excited to have you with us on this most enlightening journey. So we'll start with a small prayer, okay? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasya Deshatharini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I keep saying that this Bhagavad Gita is not a book, it's a journey through a timeless wisdom, right? It is a bridge between confusion and clarity. So we could see Arjuna also had this confusion and conflict. So today, in the next 14 days, we will go chapter by chapter, more importantly, step by step, to understand the inner peace, the call, the purpose, our connection to the Lord. So this is just not an online class. I keep telling this. This is a soul call. A soul is calling you. All right. So let us start with the beginning presentation to Srila Prabhupada. It is Srila Prabhupada's kind mercy that we are starting this, online Gita classes. We all know Srila Prabhupada, one man from this great land of India. At the age of 70, he traveled across the globe. In just a short span of 11 years, 14 times he circled the globe and constructed more than 108 temples. Not only that, he made a revolution. What was impossible, he made it possible. So we could see today the Sanatana Dharma is widespreading all over the world, and ISKCON also plays a very important role there. So all the credit goes to Srila Prabhupada because he is the founder Acharya and a pure devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. So today we're discussing chapter 6, 5, 4. Chapter 6, 5. Which one are we discussing? we're discussing today. Okay, I think we have a little confusion here. Just give me one moment. Sorry, Hare Krishna. Okay, I'm so sorry. So today we're discussing chapter 6, not chapter 5. It's about Dhyāna-yoga. So today in the chapter 5, we discuss about how to do our duty without attachment. Be like a lotus leaf, not be attacked, not be attached by water, or not affected by the water. Then we also heard a lot of things. But today we will make it a little quick and fast. So in chapter 5, how do we do our duty without attachment to the result? That's like a lotus leaf, not affected by water. Now you may ask, all this sounds good, but is it very hard to follow them in real life? Yes, it's true. That's why Krishna tells that we should train our mind, right? So if the mind becomes a friend, we can succeed in spiritual life. Just one moment. Prabhu, can we? So I'm so sorry, I'm the fan. So it's true that that's why Krishna tells us that we should train our mind. If the mind becomes a friend, we can succeed in spiritual life because that's our enemy and that's why we suffer. So today, not taking much time, we're discussing chapter 6. All right. So in chapter 6, Krishna teaches us how to control the mind using yoga. And this chapter is called Dhyāna-yoga, meditation. All right. So yoga for meditation. It's also called Ashtanga yoga. So we have 8 steps like that. We'll discuss one by one. So in this chapter, basically we'll discuss 4 important aspects. That is mind, friend or enemy, Ashtanga yoga, a failed yogi, and a supreme yogi. Okay. So when it comes to mind, friend or enemy, the mind can be our best friend, can also be a very worst enemy, So we can see how to control that. Then we speak about Ashtanga yoga. Krishna explains how to do a proper meditation, sitting along, focusing the mind, being steady. We'll discuss that. Then we'll also discuss about a failed yogi. Like what if somebody does meditation, but the mind is wandering? So Krishna is saying, don't worry. Krishna explains what happens even those who do it, but they fall down. Okay. Then finally, the supreme yogi, Krishna explains who is the best among the yogis. So he says that one who worships God with love is the highest. That's what we're going to discuss today in chapter 6. So if you want to have a quick review from from chapter 1 to chapter 5, what we discussed is that in chapter 1, you could see that Arjuna was confused and he was not ready to fight. Then Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, and that's where Krishna started explaining about the Atma, that we're not this body, we are soul. And then chapter 3, we discussed about how soul suffers because of actions, like karma. We spoke about karma, karma, right? So Krishna taught karma yoga, doing duty properly. In chapter 4, we discuss about punya karma. Remember, I told if you do punya karma, you'll go to the Swarga Loka. Then if you do papa karma, bad karma, you'll go to hell, So we discussed how we should do akarma, all right? That is bhakti yoga. So we discussed till chapter 4. And then we will come to chapter 5. That is what I discussed just some time before. That how to do duty without being attached to the result. Just be like a lotus leaf, not affected by the water. Ultimately, Krishna is telling in chapter 5 that we must train our mind, because if our mind becomes a best friend, we can succeed in spiritual life, because that is our enemy. So now we'll start embarking to chapter 6. First, we'll talk about mind, friend, or enemy. Okay. There we go. Okay, so mind, friend or enemy. So we all know the nature of the mind, right? So Krishna talks about the nature of mind. He explains what is yoga. So this mind is very chanchala, because mind says, I want this, I want this, this mera marzi, but it's like a monkey. Have you ever seen a monkey sitting at one branch for a long time? No, it keeps on hopping from one branch to another branch. So like that mind, keeps on wandering here and there, here and there. So it's very difficult to focus. That's what Krishna is telling the nature of mind. Then he also talks about yoga. So what is yoga? Generally, we have an understanding. Yoga means just do some physical exercise, do some breathing. So that is what we understand. So we will go slide by slide and we'll discuss exactly what is we mean by that. Now, yesterday I discussed about this very important. Even now I'm discussing, because if you understand this concept, it is very easy for us to understand the whole Gita. Okay, so this is about the chariot of the body. So we know what the chariot. That's the body. That's the chariot. Vehicle. Then we know who's the passenger, a traveler. That's the soul. Then we know who the intelligence, driver. Then the senses. Senses are like your eyes, your nose, your ear, your skin, your tongue, that is the senses. It's compared to horses. And the rope that the driver is holding, that's called the mind. So this is very important to understand. So I'll give you an example. If the driver doesn't hold the rope properly, then what happens? The horses will go haywire, right? And also the chariot may crash and there will be an accident. The same way, if we don't control our mind, our senses pulls us in many directions, and our life becomes full of confusion and suffering. So that's why I'll give you a small story. Let's say somebody is sitting outside the house and is like literally crying, and somebody asks, oh, why are you crying? And the man said, yesterday, 4 thieves, chore, robber, 4 thieves came to my house. They stole all my valuable things. But I'm not crying because they took out my valuables. I'm crying because, that person, and the other person is asking, why are you then crying? Because you're saying that, you're not crying because of the valuable things. Why are you crying? Man was very eager. So the person replied that they stole everything, but they tied everything in one bundle and they kept it on my head. So one thief is pulling from a right side, left side, east side, west, whatever, different directions is pulling. I don't know which direction to go. This might be looking like a funny example, but I have a deeper meaning in this. What is that? That our eyes, our ears, our tongue, our nose, they're all like a thieves, because they keep pulling us in different directions, like eyes says, see this, ears says, listen this, tongue says, taste this, nose says, smell this. But we are the owner of the senses, not the servant. But what is happening is that when we follow the senses without control, our life becomes confused, painful, and aimless. That's why we must control the mind, use intelligence, which is guided in the Shastras, so that the chariot, the body of a life, can go to the right direction. That's why I've been telling you that this soul, Atma, if you want the Atma to reach to the right Krishna, right destination, then what we should do? We should ensure that the intelligence, the driver, if he's not trained, the mind becomes uncontrolled. But and if he's trained, then we can reach the purpose of life. Because when the mind is controlled, senses are controlled, then the journey will be very safe and successful. Now, I have a question for you. In this slide, okay, I'll just make sure that you can all see this. One more. So in this slide, I want to know what is the what is this mind representative? Okay, I'll just put this question on the screen. Okay, just one more. Okay, according to Krishna, no, sorry, not this. Yeah, I think this question. Yeah, something went wrong. I think this board. Just give me one moment. Okay, I understand. But yeah, mine is controlled. But I just want to ask the next question, okay? Just one moment. Okay, yeah. Yes. So in this analogy, what does the mind represent? Uh, yeah, exactly right. The rope. Yes, the rope. So if we don't have control over the rope, then not horses. I'm again telling you, not horses. It's a rope. It is rope because the intelligence is holding the rope. That is our mind, right? So horses will go here and there. Why? Because not able to have a control over the rope. So it is very important that we have to have a control over the mind. That is through intelligence. Okay, I'll stop sharing. Okay, good. So now this is what many of us keep asking me: yoga, yoga, yoga. All right. So yoga means what? Connection, our relation with God. That's called real yoga, not just doing some exercise. Because generally people think yoga means some breathing exercise, some stretching exercise, going to Himalayas and leaving everything and going to the forest. So many people today think yoga means exercise, stretching, breathing, doing meditation. But actually, the real yoga is not exercise. Then what is the real yoga? The word yoga means connection. That is relationship between soul and God. That is Jivatma and Paramatma. So the real yoga means we are connecting ourselves with the God. Now, how does this happen? Okay, I'll give you an example. It's just like, let's say you spend a time with someone who's always very happy. You also start feeling happy, right? If you have spent a lot of time with a person who's very sad, then what happens? You also become a little sad, all right? So let's say you touch a rose, then you get that fragrance of the rose. Same thing if you touch the jasmine flower, you get the fragrance of a jasmine. So whatever you associate with that qualities will affect you. So in the same way, if we associate with the God, that's the divine quality, will slowly come into our life. What is that? We will become very peaceful, very loving, very wise, and very happy. But the question is, how do we associate with the God? So I've been telling in the last couple of days that one of the easiest way in the Kali Yuga is chanting the Lord's holy name. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because God and His name are non-different. It says Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nityamukto Abhinatve Namni Namaha. Abhinatve Namni Namaha means God's name and God, they are non-different. Right? So when you chant the name of the Lord, you're connecting with the God. That is yoga. I'll give an example. Imagine you have a glass, a transparent glass, and you have a water, and you mix something very black. It now looks very dirty. The whole water is blackish. That shows our impurity. Now, what I want to do is take a clean water, start pouring on that same glass. So what happens after some time, you will find that all the black water, starts getting disappeared, and you'll find the water becomes very clear. Why I'm saying it, because our heart is full of impurities. So when we chant the Lord's name, it's like pouring the water in that glass. Then what happens now? We will have the real connection to the God. That is the real yoga. That's why so far, we have seen Karma Yoga, doing the work for God, Jnana Yoga, understanding good through knowledge. Then spoke about Dhyāna-yoga, meditation on God. Now, all this kind of yoga, they help us only to connect to the God. That's why yoga means connection, not just exercise. Now, I have a question for you. What is the true meaning of yoga according to your own language? You can tell me. Just want to know your understanding. Okay. Uh, yeah, there's a question. What is the true meaning of yoga according to your understanding? You can share me. Is it stretching? Okay, connecting the soul with the God. Yeah. But I see many people, they say it's just stretching and breathing exercise. No. Because whatever kind of exercise you do, ultimately we have to focus on the God, right? So that is the connection with the soul and God. Yeah, that's the right answer. I appreciate that. Okay, let me share the result and let me stop sharing. Let me go to the next question. Not question. Let me make you more understand. So yoga is not yoga means just not to control the mind. Not exercise. So yoga means control the mind, not just exercise, you know. So exercise will not give you that platform. The real yoga means how do we control the mind? When we connect ourselves to the God. That's why we'll talk about today Ashtanga Yoga, all right? I'm sure many of us are looking what Prabhuji will talk about today, Dhyāna-yoga, meditation. So, okay, I'll speak about Ashtanga Yoga. Now, Lord Krishna himself is explaining about Ashtanga Yoga. So you can see on the screen, we have Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. No? So, Lord is talking about this 8 types of Ashtanga Yoga. So in Yama, what happens is be good to others. That's called Yama. When it comes to Niyama, be good to yourself. Okay, so being good to others and being good to yourself. When it comes to Asana, sit steadily and comfortably. That's called Asana. All right. When it comes to Pranayama, you all know that controlling your breath, calm your mind. You know, you're calming your mind and trying to take a deep breath. You know, when it comes to Pratyahara, withdrawing from distractions. You see a lot of disturbance going on outside, you know, distractions. You just try to, you know, withdraw from that. You know, that's called Pratyahara. Then it comes to Dharana. Dharana is, you know, trying to concentrate on one thing, just one thing, right? And then, of course, it comes to Dhyana. You know, it's a deep meditation, right? And finally, we have Samadhi, that is merging with the divine. You know, actually, I want to tell you one thing. See, there are 4 yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Now, in Satya Yuga, if I ask to somebody to sit like this and meditate, you will meditate for some time, and after some time, you'll do like this because you start dozing. Because in Kali Yuga, that process of Satya Yuga meditation doesn't apply in Kali Yuga. Now let's come to Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga, there are very well qualified brahmanas. When they chant, the fire used to come, you know. But now people do tricks, right? And they used to have a very pure ghee. But now we have vanaspati, dalda, you know. So even that kind of yagna, it's very difficult in Kali Yuga. It comes to Dwapara Yuga, you know, people used to have an elaborate worship of temples. See, like I'm from South India, Bangalore. So I see there are many temples in, you know, Hampi, Shimoga, Udupi, all these places, you know. I see temples are really there, but they are all broken actually, you know. And sometimes a temple is there, there's no pujaris, or maybe no pujaris, even there are no deities also, you know. So even that kind of elaborate worship is very difficult in Kali Yuga. But one of the easiest way in the age of Kali Yuga is performing a Harinam Sankirtan. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. So this process of chanting the Lord's holy name is very easy in the age of Kali Yuga. So now I have a quick question for all of you. You tell me, according to your own understanding, that what is the main goal of Ashtanga Yoga? See, Ashtanga Yoga means a lot of postures, all. You have to be very focused on that. So what is the main goal of Ashtanga Yoga? Yes, to get absorbed, you know, get absorbed. Not that you become very famous. Somebody saying, I want to become a famous yogi. So not because of becoming famous yogi, but, you know, get absorbed in Samadhi, right? That is what is Ashtanga Yoga. So I'll end the poll, I'll share the result, and answer is yes, absorbing in God. That is Samadhi. Yeah, that's a right answer. Now in Ashtanga Yoga, we have this practice. We keep the body ourselves fit, you know. So here there's a very wonderful sloka. It says, Samam kaya shira graivam dharayan achalam sukha samakshya naisutam swam yes chana vaiklayam. Next verse it says, Prasannatma vigatha bhir brahmachari vrtityaha manaha samyama vachito yukto asiddha matparaha. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in the straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. So what is the basic requirement we need here in Ashtanga Yoga? That you should sit steadily and focus on nose like this, and then control your mind and body, completely focused. Then it is said that the Shastras, it is basically applicable for brahmacharis, not householders. You may ask why only brahmacharis. Generally, brahmacharis, they get a very conducive atmosphere. Like in my case, we get up early morning, so not much of a, material activities we do. We do only things, get up in the morning, we don't even read newspapers, So we are completely doing all kind of bhakti activities. So it's very easy for us to control our mind, because householders, they have to go for job, lot of temptations, So it's a challenge. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible, but it's a challenge. And then because it needs discipline, both in body and the thoughts. That's what I was trying to convey here. So now in Ashtanga Yoga, you see this mind, right? It says, yato chanchaliti manas chanchalam astitam tatas tatho niyamaya atmani eva vasam nayat. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must suddenly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. What does it mean? It means that our mind keeps jumping from one thought to another, right? So it's not steady. Even when we try to listen or focus, the mind thinks about other things like, when this Prabhuji will finish the class today, or when we can have question answers today, when the class will get over. What cooking item did Prabhuji add in the morning? Something all keeps coming in the mind, right? That's somebody's going to come and meet me now. So this is what kind of thoughts keeps coming. So Krishna says, whenever the mind runs away here and there, we should bring it back and focus again. So we must train our mind again and again. That's why now I have a question. What should we do when our mind gets distracted? Okay, I'll have this question for you. So give a genuine answer, whatever is your understanding, because it will help me to understand better. Okay? Yep. What should we do when our mind gets distracted? What we should do, okay, let it go okay, bring it back and focus again. We know, bring it back, focus on how to do that. That's what we're going to explain now. Okay, so bring it back and focus again. So many times when I give classes in the schools and colleges, I keep telling the students that the teacher keeps telling you, your body is present, but mind is absent. Now, what the teacher is trying to say? She's trying to say that bring your mind back to the class, right? So look at this. Arjuna is saying, Yoyam yogastvaya prokta samyena madhusudhana etasyaham na pashyami chanchalavat stam. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and undurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. So Arjuna tells to Krishna that controlling the mind through yoga, it's very difficult. For me, it seems impossible. So how many of you agree with me that yes, controlling mind is difficult? Just leave a chat and say yes or no. Do you think controlling mind is easy or no? I would say it's quite difficult. How many of you say controlling mind is very easy? Yes or no? How many of you say controlling mind? It is difficult. It's difficult. Not easy at all. Yeah, I could see. It's not easy. It's not at all easy. Very easily you can say, but it's not easy. So now look at this slide. Very wonderful sloka. You can memorize this. It says, Chanchalami mana Krishna pramadi bhalavadradam tasyaham nigram manye vayur eva suddham. So it says the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. So, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. Just give me one moment. Okay, fine. So, even though Arjuna was very focused in the past, you can see during the training, Dronacharya, when he could say that I could only see the eye of the bird in the tree, not the tree, not the leaf, not the branch. He could see only the eye of the bird. He was so focused, Arjuna, but still he's saying that this yoga is too difficult. This shows that how hard is to control the mind. So I'll give you a kind of a story, just very interesting, So let's say there's a man who tried to meditate, but he was getting distracted. Or he's trying his best to meditate, but it's getting distracted. I'll give a demo. Let's a person, is sitting like this and doing a meditation. While doing meditation, he gets distracted by a woman, because she's walking here and there, here and there. He said, why she's going here and there? I'm doing a meditation now. So what he does, he takes a kind of a cloth and just, wraps his eyes. He covers his eyes so that he should not get distracted. So again, he does meditation. Again, he gets distracted. Why? Because now he cannot see that woman moving around, but her anklet sound is making noise. They thought, okay, what I should do, yeah, So he now covered his eyes. Now what he did is, to avoid that sound coming, he took some cotton and plugged into his ears. Okay. Now he thought, no, I cannot see, I cannot hear also. I'll do meditation. He was doing like this. Suddenly what happened, the Mataji, the woman was moving around, she had some flower on her hairs, So that fragrance was coming. She had applied some kind of perfume, whatever, So the fragrance was coming. And again, that got distracted, was disturbed, Finally, he said, I should do something, So finally what he did, he also, tried to close his nose also. So nose, eyes, and ears, everything is there. But still, after some time, the mind is still getting disturbed. Why? Because, he's getting a thought. Did that the woman came this way, or did she came this way or not? So everything is done, but still mind is like, it's not focused, because the mind still thought about her. Did she came this way or not? So what I meant to say is that this shows that external control is not enough, because the mind itself keeps wandering. That's why Arjuna is giving a conclusion that I can control the wind, but not the mind. That's why this Ashtanga Yoga is not practical, especially in Kali Yuga. So how many of you agree with this? Say yes or no in the chat box. How many of you agree that yes, it is very difficult to control our mind in Kali Yuga? I'm waiting for the chat reply. Say yes or no. Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, not easy at all. Yes, exactly right. That is correct. So it is quite difficult. Now I'll give you an analogy, a story. This is the story of Bharat Maharaj. He was a great, king. He left the whole kingdom. He went to forest to do some tapasya. There, what happened while doing tapasya? He saw a dove. He saw this deer. So his whole purpose to come to forest is to do meditation. Focus on God. But now he got attracted to this deer. So now Arjuna asked Krishna, what happens to a person who starts the spiritual path, yoga or bhakti, but he has a faith, but he fails completely? Does he lose everything? Like same thing happened with Bharat Maharaj, right? So he left everything, came to the forest. The purpose of coming to forest is to meditation. But now his whole focus got diverted towards the deer. That means, is he a loser or what is going to happen? That's what Arjuna is asking. Does he lose everything or what? So for that question, very nicely he replies. Krishna is replying that Arjuna asked, Krishna, he who begins the path of self-realization with faith and then stops it because of worldly thoughts does not reach the mature stage of yoga. What is the fate of the spiritualist who is not so successful? So I'll just make it more easier. Here it says that Krishna's replying, a person who fails in the spiritual life is not destroyed. That is what Krishna is saying. He will not go to hell also, not lose efforts. But we see in modern education, like we start from a kindergarten, LKG, UKG, school, college, but in next life, again we have to start from where again we have to start from a kindergarten, LKG, UKG. But in spiritual education, it doesn't work like that. Once you start, from where you left, from there we continue. So to make you very clear, I'll give an example and make you understand. So in this sloka, it says, on taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of a previous life and he tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. So what does it mean? Answer to your question, Krishna asked Krishna, right? Arjuna asked Krishna, what happens to a person who starts spiritual path, yoga or bhakti with faith, but later he fails to complete? Does he lose everything? So it is said that if somebody is practiced for a very long time and then fails, he will be born in a family of pure devotees. Wow, amazing, right? But somebody practiced only a little time, he will be born in a rich and cultured family, and in the next life, he will start from where he left off. So there is no loss in this. So this spiritual progress continues over lifetimes. Eventually he will become a perfect and attain liberation. So my question for all of you is that what happens if someone falls from the path of bhakti? Somebody is practicing bhakti, but due to some reason, they give up. So what is their destination? You can answer me. What happens if someone falls from the path of yoga, a bhakti yoga, whatever, they'll start from where they left off in the next life. Yeah, absolutely right. That's the right answer. I'll share the result and I'll stop sharing. Okay, good. Yeah, that is the right answer. That's why we could see here that material things like wealth, education can't be carried into the next life. I did my MBA. I did a lot of other material studies, but in my next life, I again have to start from LKG, UKG, college, whatever, But devotional service, you never lose. You never lost, So whatever we stop, we again resume in the next life. That's what you can see, that somebody has then practiced for a long time, they've fallen, but they take path in a spiritual family. And again, they do the, so it's a cycle. It's a cycle. But in material life, it's not like that. You have to start over once again, But in spiritual life, it's something very special. That's why the past will not come back, but the stopped yoga can continue. So how many of you know that there are many such examples, like they just took birth. You see some child, he's playing nice mridanga, he's giving nice class. One of my very good friend, his name is Amarendra Prabhu, So in his life also we could see that he had such a wonderful positive karma in his life, that, even many of the great sannyasis like to hear from him, So you might say, this is so advanced. He is so advanced because he was blessed by the people, right? So that's what I'm saying. No, whatever bhakti he did in the last life, it continues now. No, so it's not so easy. And if you look at this screen, what is the benefit Supreme Yogi does? I'm going to explain about this because you see Nasimadev and Prahlad Maharaj here, right? See, there are many yoga systems like Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. We have seen that in the last 6 days we have been just talking about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, But even if we forget everything from all previous chapters, no problem. Just concentrate on this sloka, because this is the final verse of the Karma Yoga, 6th chapter, and just focusing on this sloka, I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer. Even if you forgot what I discussed in the last 4 hours, 4 days or 5 days, that's okay. Okay, better you forget. No problem. No need to remember at all. But just focus on this one or two slokas that I'm going to share now. That's enough, because this is the climax of the Karma Yoga. So we're going to discuss it very carefully. So pay attention. Okay. So here it says, Tapasvibo adhiko yogi, jnanibo apimato adhikaha, karnavya chadiko yogi, tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. Oh, yogi is, it says a yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiristic, and greater than the fruity worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. What does it mean? It means that Krishna is saying a yogi is greater than a person who does tapasya. Ascetic means a person who's doing tapasya with a lot of beards, like sitting in Himalayas, like that, But greater than that person is a jnani, all right? And greater than jnani means knowledgeable person. Greater than that person is one who works for the result as a karmi, that is Arjuna. So here it says Arjuna, in all situations, just be a yogi, because you're giving your fruit to the Krishna. So why is that the ascetic, that is tapasya, is not greatest? I'll give you an example. See, in case of Hiranyakashipu, he did very severe tapasya. But what was his goal? His goal was is having his own selfish desire. So even we sometimes do hard work, control food, wake up early in the morning, do a lot of hard work, but the intention is if you wanted to enjoy the fruit what you have done, that means that is a desire driven. It is selfish desire driven. So that is not so special. But you could see even the case of Ganya also. He may know all the Vedas, Rik Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda, even the Gita Upanishad, 700 slokas, all the Sanskrit. But if it doesn't even follow one instruction of Lord Krishna, what is the use? Someone may say, Prabhu, I'm attending this class from last 4-5 days. I'm not able to follow any of your instructions. But one thing I'm able to follow, what is that? I offer the food to Krishna before I eat. Well, that's it. That's the answer. That means you're greater than the so-called, the tapasvik yogi or Gyani, because you're offering food to the God. That is the best. So it's like someone who studied medical degree, was got their PhD or MD, whatever, but never did any operation, never treated any patient. What is the use? Similarly, someone may know all the scriptures but do not follow them, then it's not much value. So a Gyani only has knowledge. A fruity worker keeps thinking, I want to do this and get that. This is also a self-centered. But a yogi is always connected to the Lord. Whatever he does it for Krishna. So Krishna says, among all the tapasvi, all the Gyanis, and all the karmi, the yogi is the best. Why he says, in all circumstances, just be a yogi. That's why even if you forget everything else, just remember this. Among all the ascetic, scholar, worker, the one who is connected to Krishna is the greatest. Because that's why Krishna says, just become a yogi. Now, I have a question for you. You can tell me from your understanding. According to Krishna, who is the greatest among all? Okay, I'll just put this question on the screen. Can you tell me? Yep. Yeah, the question is there on the screen. According to Krishna, who is the greatest among all? Is it the one who does tapasya, go to Himalayas, or is the one who knows all scriptures, or is the one who... Yes, exactly right. One who is connected to God. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll share the results. Yeah. Yes, that is a right answer. Okay, that one who is connected to God. Now, look at the screen. It says, this is the last sloka of this verse. Okay. Yoginam api sarvesham mat gatendrana atmana shraddhavan bhajate yoma samayukta tamo madaha. And of all yogis, one with a great faith, who is always abide in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and he is the highest of all. That's my opinion. So this is the conclusion of the entire 6th chapter. Krishna is saying, Lord Krishna says very clearly that Bhakti Yoga is greater than all. That's what it says, Bhajate Yoma. What does it mean? That means that one is greater than all the yogis. So to make you very easily understand, I'll make you give an example. Let's say someone say, we're all doing bhakti, but what actually bhakti is? We're not just doing bhakti, we're trying to become a devotees. We're not devotees, we're trying to become a devotees, right? So this is what I want to say. See, when we're trying to do bhakti, we are not just bhaktas, The bhakta means pure devotion, always thinking about Krishna 24 hours a day, just like Prabhupada, what can I do for Lord? What can serve all the devotees? So what can I give to the Lord? So I'll give you an example. He's a great poet, actually. It's a very interesting, personality who was not interested to read Vedanta at all. He was not interested to read Vedanta, but he decided to do only one profession. What is it? Have a garden next to the temple, just grow flowers, plug them, make a garland, and just offer to the Lord. That's the only service this person was doing, And his name was Vishnu Siddha. What was his name? Vishnu Siddha. So, once what happened, there was a king, his name was Vallabha Deva. What was his name? Vallabha Deva. So, he wanted to know the meaning of Veda. So, what he did, he hung a big bag full of gold in the palace. He said, if someone can tell the truth, the true meaning of Veda, this gold will fall. And many people came and gave meaning, but the gold did not fall. So the king became very sad, morose. He thought, no one in my kingdom knows the Veda. So that night, the Lord comes in his dream. Whose dream? Not in your dream, not in my dream. Whose dream? He comes in the dream of the king. He says that there's one person by name Vishnu Siddha. You bring him, he will tell the meaning. So next day, the king, the Raja was so happy, he called the workers, told him, you go and get that person. So now this Vishnu Siddha, he said, I don't want to know, I don't want to go because I don't know Veda. I am only interested, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in reading this all these Vedas. I'm only interested in just doing some small service, He was denying literally. But even for him, Lord came in the dream. He said, you must go and speak. Because Lord said, so he went. The moment this Vishnu Siddha came in the palace, everybody started laughing because he was looking like a joker, He thought, what will he speak? He doesn't know anything about the Vedas, what he will, everybody were laughing, mocking. So they thought he doesn't know Vedas. How can he speak the meaning? So now the Raja told, come and tell the meaning of this. So he stood before the king. He said, the meaning of Veda is understanding God and love God. What he said? He said, understanding God, love God. Love God, serve God. That's what he said. Immediately what happened? The gold bag fell. Everyone shouted, Jai, Jai, Jai Vishnu Siddha, Jai Vishnu Siddha. And the king also was very happy. So what he did? He made him sit in the elephant, took a ride, a procession. People wanted to know, that understand he's a great soul. So sometimes you can see that the Lord himself wanted to see the devotees. So we all glorify the Lord, but because we feel happy, right, when we glorify the Lord. But here you can see when devotees have been glorified, the Lord becomes very happy. And you want to see that this Vishnu Siddha, so Vishnu Siddha asked the Lord that why did you come? So many people have the evil eyes here, my Lord. So you should be safe. Now here you see this Vishnu Siddha is speaking to the Lord. So among so much of possession, why did you came, Lord? Many people, they have evil eyes, they will see you and they will talk something bad about you. So better to be safe, you don't come here. This is what a devotee is telling to the Lord. So then this Vishnu Siddha, he actually chanted a very, very wonderful prayer. Actually, I'm sure you all of know, this prayer was sung by one of the Peri Alvar among the 12 Alvars, right? He's actually blessing the Lord. You live for countless years, He says, and he says, I think I forgot the first line. Maybe you can help me out. Something like, Pallanda, Palayoratanda, Palakoti Nurayaram, something like Pallandu, Nantol, something like Manivannan, Devadi, something like that, So he was telling this prayer, So actually, this verse is from Periyalvar, one of the 12 Alvars, right? So what does he says? This Periyalvar is overwhelmed with a motherly affection to Lord Krishna, and he want to protect the Lord. And while protecting the Lord, he's chanting this name. The same sloka was chanted by Vishnu Siddha. This is the heights of devotion. All right? This is the heights of devotion. So we could see an example that when we want to offer food to the Lord at home, others may not believe in God. They say, you attended this class, so you think you know God. They may start mocking on you, but still, they're not helping. But what I meant to say, somebody is cooking, somebody need vegetables, right? So what do you do? For example, let's say Karma Yoga, Jnana-yoga, So for example, I'll give you a very simple analogy. Maybe this can make you understand, okay, how Bhakti Yoga is so amazing. See, among all yoga system, Bhakti Yoga is best. That's what we have discussed today, right? So even a person doesn't believe in God, if you send him to market, he gets some vegetables for me, So he is getting vegetables for home for the God. That means he is getting benefited. Let's say you are engaging someone. Can you please cut the vegetables? So he's cutting the vegetables to whom? For the God. That means he's getting benefited. Let's say somebody plucks some flowers. Even the tree also gets benefited because we are offering that flower, that fruit to the Lord. So like this, even people who are not doing any activities, you're engaging them in Krishna's service. This all happens only in Bhakti Yoga. That's why this is the best yoga other than other yogas. That's what I'm trying to convey. That's why Krishna says that this is my opinion. Among all the yogis, one who does bhakti, to me, he is the highest. That's why he says, yoginam api sarvesham mat gatindrana atmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamo mataha. That's what Krishna is explaining us, that what is bhakti yoga, So if you want to know the clear understanding of bhakti yoga, because today we are finishing the 6th chapter, from tomorrow we're going to start 7th chapter. From 7th to 12th chapter, it's completely about bhakti yoga. So we'll see tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Now I think we still have a couple of minutes, so we'll just take up some more slides. So according to you, according to Krishna, who is the highest among all yogis? I'll just put this question for you. Okay. What did I do? Just one moment. Something went wrong. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So my question was, just one moment. Yeah. According to Krishna, who is the highest among all yogis? One does tapasya or having great knowledge or work? Okay. One who worships Krishna with devotion. Yes, right. That's a right answer. I'll stop sharing. Okay. Okay. So now I'll do a quick review what we have discussed in chapter 6 today. We spoke about mind, friend, enemy, Ashtanga yoga, a failed yogi, supreme yogi, right? Dhyāna-yoga. We spoke about how in chapter 6, in Bhagavad Gita, explains how to control the mind and focus on God through meditation. And we spoke about a true yogi is not just one who renounces work, but also one who performs duties without attachment to the result. And mainly we spoke about controlling the mind is very essential, because when you control the mind, it will uplift you, not put you down, it will uplift you. And also we spoke about meditation should be done in a very secure place, clean place, quiet place, so that we can steadily focus on Krishna. We spoke about the distraction of is very natural. I gave an example of a person who wanted to close his eyes by the cloth, and then put that cloth, put that, what is a sponge in the ears, then close his nose, but still he was distracted, right? So, and you're telling how you should bring the mind back, So among all yogis, Bhakti yogi who meditates on Krishna with love and devotion is considered to be the highest. So spiritual effort never goes in vain. We are not the loser, because progress continues even to the next life. So ultimately, we spoke about how Krishna, he declares that the one who worships him with love and faith is the greatest yogi, right? So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that devotional service beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in a human society. So this is what I was trying to say, that in age of Kali Yuga also we can still do one amazing thing. What is that? That is chanting the Lord's holy name, right? And finally, among all yogis, a devotee who chants the name is the best yogi. Now, I want to share one or two quick examples which is shaken up in my life, which I really experienced, that how holy name is the powerful, in among Bhakti Yoga. So I'll just take maybe another 2-3 minutes, and then we'll directly go with the question answers. The first thing I want to share about the unknown child incident. Actually, when I was working in Bangalore, I had to admit my mom in a Narayana Hrudaya hospital because she has some health issue. So this hospital was so amazing. The entrance had a lobby, okay, that had a temple, church, and masjid. So one day, when I was chanting near that lobby, I saw a group of strange family. They were literally crying in the temple. So I thought, maybe why they're crying? We should chant Mahamantra, right? So I was very young. So I told them chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then that time they were like 14 of them. So one elderly woman, she caught my hand like this and took me and met me one doctor. And he was the main doctor, and his name was Devi Shetty. You can Google this. Devi Shetty is a very big doctor. He's a doctor in Bangalore. So this he's a very specialist. This heart issues and all the stuffs. Whatever. So this doctor felt that I'm a part of his family, because he was not knowing, right? So he took me to the ICU ward and showed me this child. Oh my God! When I saw the child, his whole body was completely filled with wires. And seeing that, I was not able to digest, and the doctor Devi Shetty, he bowed down in front of me. He's such a big guy. He bowed down his head in front of me. He said, this child cannot survive. If God can save him, he may or may not even be alive. So he said in a very emotional way. And the lady, she saw that me and doctor having a conversation, and the doctor is very emotional in speaking. So this lady misunderstood that maybe doctor has said that the child is dead. So she couldn't stop the tears. So I convinced her, saying that no, the child is out of danger. I started screaming and said, the child is out of danger, no need to worry. The doctor became upset. Why are you telling a lie? So I told the doctor, I'll manage it. So the next day, just before the next day, I told this family, see, doctor has told that your child is out of danger, which was a blunder. I told a lie to them, That's what the doctor was saying to me. But I told them, see, you should take up this name. I took a chit, I wrote a name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All these 14 people, they're chanting this Mahamantra. It began at 7 o'clock in the evening till morning 4:30. They were chanting this name with a lot of sincerity. Then what happened next day? My mother was getting discharged from the hospital, and next day was also operation of the child. Now, to my great surprise, the doctor was searching for me. He said, your God has made a miracle. Actually, when I personally went and saw the child, actually the child was really out of danger. He was moving his fingers all, and I got a goosebump in me. Oh my God, this name has so power. So this family thought, I'm only God, So and that day my mother was getting discharged. So actually they saw me that I was going out of the hospital, taking my mother in the wheelchair. So they came, they kissed me, they touched my feet, saying that you are my savior. A lot of things they're saying, My mother was shocked. She said, what's happening? Then I convinced my mother and I told them, this is all because of holy name. Because they chanted the name very sincerely. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chanted the name sincerely. That is why, the child was protected. So then I gave them some local address of ISKCON temple. I told them, you go there and, take and be very grateful for the Lord that you got this Mahamantra. This is one of the incident I shared, and it was a big transformation. Another one I would like to share. We just have another 2-3 minutes. I know one of my very far old friend is my cousin brother. So one of his relatives, she had a cancer, and doctor said she's in the last stage. But I was not knowing. He just told that she's not keeping well. You just come and talk to her because you are a brahmachari, so you'll have some kind of impact. So then I said, okay, fine, So I went there. I told that Mataji that, see, your health is not good. So you should chant the Lord's holy name, because if you get the blessings of the Lord, things can be different. So she took it very seriously. She was chanting the Mahamantra. Actually, first day, when I told her, she was not able to move, But after chanting Mahamantra, I don't know from where she got the energy. She was in the kitchen, she was cooking something. Then I got the news that, no, she is a little active after you came. So then I told her, see, I organize 24 hours kirtan in my house every Ekadashi. Why didn't you come? And she was very happy to come. But somewhat, when she had come, her health was not supporting her. So she took almost 3-4 hours to come to my first floor. I was staying in the first floor, So then she came. Then we had a wonderful kirtan. We had a small katha also. Then there she gave a conclusion that, yes, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and he will protect me. And she took a lot of prasadam that day, And then I was very happy. Then after some time, maybe after a couple of days, I got a call from my cousin brother. He said, you know what, this lady whom you are preaching, she's right now in a very bad condition. She may leave the body anytime from now. So what do I do? I said, oh, really? Just come to my house and meet me, I said. So he came. That was a Radha day. So I just had a garland of Gornitai. I just told, give this to her, I said. Then I have to, because I had a night shift that day, so I have to go to job. So then this person came with the garland and he just put the garland on her, and just before that, she just uttered only one word before she had last breath. What was it? She just said, Narasimha. That's it. And she left the body. And all those people who came to their house, instead of crying, they were doing kirtan. So then gradually we could see that lady who died, she had 2 children, and now these 2 children are doing such a wonderful bhakti. both are chanting 16 rounds, So how this happened? Because the impact of her mother, So, and this happened because, I just told them to chant Mahamantra, but she took it very seriously. This is how, if we take it sincerely and seriously, practice, intensely, then the connection of yoga works. That's what I was trying to convey. And finally, as we all know that we are heading chapter 7, that is knowledge of bhakti, knowledge of the first 6 chapter was about karma yoga. Tomorrow we're heading towards bhakti yoga. So tomorrow's class is just not a class, it's a I would say revelation, a powerful and a surprise disclosure of truth. So I seek all the truth seekers, that please make sure that you come tomorrow, because today we heard about ourself meditation, renunciation, yoga in chapter 6. Now there was just kind of a hearing from Bhagavad Gita, but tomorrow it's chapter 7, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So I wish you all the best, and don't miss tomorrow's class, because it's a turning point in our Gita journey. So from here I'll stop the class. Now we'll have some quick question answers. I know a lot of people are raising their hands, so let's do one by one, okay? I'll answer all your questions today. So yeah, I think I have a question from Srinidhi Chakravarti. Just one moment. Okay. Okay, we have a couple of them having questions. Okay, we'll go one by one. First, we'll go with Vatsala ma'am. Just checking out. Yes, you're unmuted, so please feel free to ask questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Am I audible to you, Prabhu?
You're audible, very clear. Go ahead.
Prabhu, I have one doubt, Prabhu. Nishkama Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, which one we should follow, Prabhu?
Fantastic question. That's an amazing question. So remember we spoke about the Karma Yoga has 2 parts. One is Nishkama Karma Yoga and Sakama Karma Yoga. And we also spoke about Karma, Vikarma and Akarma. Remember all these things? So yes, Nishkama Karma Yoga, where you do the action, as a result you give that fruit to Krishna. There is no selfish in that. All right? It's a selfless desire. So that is and that's why Nishkama Karma Yoga will bring you closer to Bhakti Yoga. And same thing even with the Akarma Yoga, Akarma also. We spoke about Karma, Vikarma, right? Akarma.
Yes.
Somebody is doing some good activities, they're only gaining what? Punya. And because of this Punya, again they have to come back, because they may go to Swarga Loka. But once the Pota is done, again they have to come back. But in the case of, Vikarma is going against the scriptures, right? And because of that, he may go to hell. But even there also, once his punishment is, the quota is finished, again he has to take a rebirth, in this material world. But this Akarma is a bridge where he doesn't get into Papa or Punya. He'll directly go to the spiritual world, So that is very important. So Akarma and Niskama Karma Yoga, they're almost very close, That's why we spoke about 3 things. One is Karma Kanda, Karmi, and Karma Yogi, right? So we have to come to the last level. Good question. It's helping everybody. Yes, and we have Srinidhi Chakravarti. She's raising her hand. Okay, I'll just ask her.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
what's your...
Prabhu, thanks.
You're welcome. Yes, Hare Krishna. I'm trying to unmute you, Srinidhi. I think net is working here. Yes. Okay, she got disconnected. Okay, I see there's another question by you. I'll just unmute you. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
You're welcome, Mata. So please make sure you come tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to start Bhakti Yoga, right? So what we should do, because tomorrow you asked such a wonderful question. So tomorrow you should get another person in the class. That shows your, dedication. So get another person tomorrow. So let's make it double. Okay? Fine. Okay, I think the one who was going to ask the question, I think due to some poor network, a call got disconnected. So thank you once again for all of you for patience. And tomorrow we're going to head towards a 7th chapter, which is very interesting, and it's a knowledge of absolute. Okay, so don't miss tomorrow's class, because it's a turning point in our Gita journey. So from here on, Krishna stops hinting and starts boldly declaring the absolute truth. Okay, chant Hare Krishna, be happy.